How would you like to be a menace? Because here's an idea. Well, I mean, first of all, we can put something on here. Uh, what we would put on here? I don't know. We don't really have anything good right now. I mean, there's raise the potency of but like But Blesdew Talisman, 2 HP. Icon Shield, 3 HP. Together, that's 5 HP. And then the entire Royal Remains set, which I don't know how many it is. I know that like each piece gives you a certain amount, only when you're below a certain percentage of health. Now, the description says slowly replenishes HP when HP is reduced. I feel like instead of saying when it's reduced, it should probably maybe say when HP is low. Because reduced, it's like, well, if I have a max of 1,450 HP and I get smacked in the face with a pebble and I drop down to 1,440 HP, that's reduced, is it not? So, I feel like it could just one tiny little change in the description, just from the word reduced to the word low. I feel like that one tiny little change could help clear some things up. Now, I just took a great glintstone shard for his friend. That beam just took a great glintstone shard for his friend. Oh my god, what a dodge. I don't appreciate the dodging though. Dodging is my thing. As a player. Oh my god. Like, the more I play this game, the more I realize just how busted the lock-on is. Because it feels like the more I play, the less I lock on to the thing I want to lock onto. And because like my first run, I almost always locked onto whatever I wanted to lock onto. I, okay. I don't know if they changed how lock-on works in one of the patches, because it's like, I'm pretty sure they changed how healing worked in 1.06, because in patch 1.05, you put on the Royal Remains armor, you were fine. You put it on patch 1.06, your game crashed. Every single time. I mean, because it was only the armor, it might have been an issue with the armor, not healing, but they changed something, and it caused some issues. And I feel like they might have changed the lock-on at some point, just because of how bad it feels now. Because it used to work perfectly, or almost perfectly, on my first, like, two and a half runs. And then after that, it just started getting progressively worse. Also, there's that thing. You can go and you can run up and you can get the Arsenal Charm +1. We don't even have the Arsenal Charm normal equipped, and we have all of our equipment and we're good, so I don't need it. But if you want it and you don't want to get shot in the face by a bunch of high velocity rocks, well, we're in Althus Tunnel. He's like over here. You can actually go to Perfumer's Grotto and end up not within like melee distance, but you end up a lot closer to him, which means a lot easier to get him with range. And you don't need a ton of range because they don't have a ton of health. But like, just a bow, you don't even really need to upgrade it. Just a bow. Just like a normal bow, like a light bow will work. Like there have been plenty of times where I had a short bow completely unupgraded, and I had like 30, 40 arrows, and I was just like, this'll work. Plus 122, I'm at 97. It's worth it. I don't need to fight these guys. Yeah, it's 2 of them. But I can. And because I can, I will. Because that's how being stubborn works. Bonk. No. No. I did not know... I didn't think I was gonna hyper armor through that. But you get them down on one knee, and suddenly they take way more damage. And they also... they lose like all of their poise. There we go. Beautiful. Mwah. Somberstone Miner's Bell Bearing 2. We don't need it. Not really that useful. We just came here because it's a tunnel and tunnels are good. And also is the end point of the icon shield. Rest in peace, icon shield, for this run. Because it is truly a beautiful thing. It's like, I didn't really play the old Souls games. I only really got into it, like the series, in Bloodborne. Don't know why, but if you look at the series starting then, not Sekiro, because at the time I was doing other things, but like Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, if you look at the auto healing, which is healing that happens passively, automatically, because it's like, yeah, you have your Flaccid Crimson Tears, but you need to press a button to activate that. You don't need a button, like you don't need to press a button to get healing from the Blessed Dew Talisman. It just happens. Useless shortcut that I've never taken. But yeah, it's like, it just happens automatically. Don't need to do anything. It's great. But yeah, over here. Like in Bloodborne, auto healing is very, very rare, and I think it's on a pretty similar level to Dark Souls, but it feels so much less impactful because your health bar is smaller. Or it's like more condensed. And so it feels a lot weaker. And again, it's rare. You can only get it from blood gems, which you need to sacrifice damage for that. You don't need to sacrifice damage to put on the Blessed Dew Talisman. Doink. That's just a spear, but we get it because we can. You want to come down? I heard you running. Alright, but... So you have to sacrifice damage to get that healing, and the healing feels less impactful. But in Dark Souls 3, there's the Sun Princess ring, which you can only get halfway through the game, which kinda hurts. You can have other players drop it for you, but for challenge runs where no drops from other players is one of the rules I follow. Bit of a ouch. Don't try it, my dude. No. Oh, knocked you down. Nice. Black Knife. We already got their weapon. We can get their armor later on. Not yet. We have to get to Mountaintops of the Giants. But in Dark Souls 3, halfway through the game, you beat Aldrich, and you get Sun Princess Ring. But there's also 2 shields. I don't know why I opened this. We can't look at them. But there's the Ancient Dragon Great Shield, I think it's called, in the base game, and then there's the Ethereal Oak Shield in the DLC. And they both give you auto healing. And then on top of that, you can like forge your weapon into a blessed weapon, which sacrifices a little damage, but gives you some more auto healing. So you can get a ring, a shield, and a weapon. And I usually have, because I usually go with 2 weapons. I'll have like a smaller weapon that's made for speed, and then like a bigger weapon that's made for damage. And so I can just have the smaller weapon out when I'm just walking around, and that can be for the healing, and then I can have the damage weapon. And it's great. And then here, you got Blessed Dew Talisman, which is the Sun Princess ring, but with a new look and name. And you can get it way, way sooner, which I love. And then you get the Icon Shield. I haven't looked much into infusions in this game. So they're like Sacred might heal, but I'm not entirely sure. Haven't tried it yet. I should try it soon. That is definitely something I should try. Yeah, here's Melina. When we got inside of Landell, she was like, "Alright, thanks, peace," and now she's back. And she's got a cool little blade. We can get her blade and armor later. But hello. It's like Bloodborne is my favorite out of all of them. I feel like with just two updates to make some things more polished. Like one update for polish, one update for balance changes. Elden Ring could be my favorite, but neither of those have happened yet. So Bloodborne's still my favorite, which makes the parts where it's kind of weak hurt even more. Like the auto healing, because I love auto healing. Also, you go through and then you end up right in front of him, which sucks. It's not a big thing, but it's just like it puts you closer to him, which means you have less time to set up, which puts you at a disadvantage on your first run. Which kinda sucks. It's not the worst. Oh boy. Ow.
Foolish ambitions to West.
Panic rolled. I didn't drink my flask. That's right. Normally, I tend to summon Mimic Tier, and so I have the healing and Twiggy Crack Tier, and so I just do both in one instead of using a normal flask. Or if I'm using a summon that requires FP, I tend to swap out Crimson for Cerulean, but I don't have Cerulean right now because I didn't care to get one. Pretty sure just like Crimson there were two. Missed that time. I should probably stop talking so I can focus on not being bad at the game. Okay. Not talking doesn't help. Good to know. Am I safe from that? I think I am. Ow. Yeah, see. This is where the challenge run is going to start to kick in as a challenge. Especially since it's a magic run, and I tend to do melee runs. Oh wait. But yeah, since I tend to do melee runs,
Stained by my curse, such
magic
cannot bear. Thy
is
part in this
definitely capable of being a
shall
challenge
not be
for me.
forgiven.
stand still because I like to charge. Might have to do the taps in order to actually be fast enough to hit him. Because again, cannon do be slow. Ow. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Oh boy, ow. Not even that it's a lot of damage. It's that I have very low defenses. Which just makes it hurt more. Now again, in Magic runs, how you approach areas and how you approach bosses in terms of blast distribution should be different. Because bosses are a lot more intense. In terms of like healing, but they have a lot less health than an entire area. So you need more Crimson tiers, less Cerulean tiers. But on my very first run, both my Ashes and Melina died before killing the boss. And so they were already gone. And then I killed the boss. And I looked around, didn't see any Grace. Looked over, saw the fog wall was there, still there, didn't see him. And when there's gonna be a cutscene and a phase 2. And I sat here for like a full 2-3 minutes just waiting for a cutscene.
Tarnished. Thou art but a fool. The Erd Tree wards off all who deign approach. We are all forsaken. None may claim the title of Elden Lord.
You sure about that?
Thy deeds shall be met with failure,
I know.
just as I.
Yeah, but there's a difference between us two. I'm not Hollow. So, yeah. I don't know why he looks like beef jerky. Kinda weird. Got thrown out of here, you fake Elden Lord. But I mean, I feel like there are a few people who could claim the title. Like Godfrey. I mean, he's dead, so... He can't because he's never coming back. Definitely. It'll never happen again. Hello.
Hello again. Allow me, you are prevented. The thorns are husk the only way and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide.
So, roll them down. So, in this game, you can alter outfits, and the altered versions are almost always just remove the cape. Now, you can get her set, like the set that she's wearing, but without the cape. I think it'd be really cool if you got it in its altered form without the cape, which is how it was when she helped us fight Morgott. But it'd be really cool if you could unalter it to get the cape back.
Shall I let my share them with me? Your thoughts.
Because they're... I know of, I think it's two, uh, two, like, pieces of armor that you get that start out altered. There's the errant sorcerer robes, which you get over in Gilmere. It's like off up here or something. By Azure. And another in Crumbling Fair Missoula. You get Bernal's thing, and it starts out altered. And so it's like there's already precedence for that. For you getting armor that starts out altered and being able to unalter it in order to get the cape back. Because that'd be really, really cool. I'd love that so much. Now, over here, bunk. There's like a side area over there. Don't care for it. Normally, I go up the left side and fight the enemies over there, and then loop around up top. But man, really don't want to fight the enemies right now. Really not in the mood to fight those clowns. I know they're chasing. Don't worry, I know they're chasing. But, what they gonna do, What you gonna do about it? Yeah, what you gonna do? Okay. I mean, that is a thing to do, I suppose. If that's what you wish to do, who am I to stop you? Don't know how these fires are staying lit in the rain, but it looks very nice. Too bad there is going to be no screenshotting this run. Bonk. Now... Okay. Do. Question is, do I want to fight you people? And the answer is no, but if you turn around and look at me, I will hit you with a gavel. Alright, good. He's either blind or smart. You're a smart knight. I'll give you that. Also, yeah, there's another one of the divine towers. It goes above the clouds. Is this the last one? I think that might be the last one. But you just take it right over there, and there's a boss. Now from here, I usually look like half a tick left of west, and then down, and you can see this little jump. If you can make the jump, official's attire, which is the same as the Mariah's robe, but missing the little shoulder cowl thing, and also with a different item description. Same thing, upper class robe is just a ruler's robe without the robe, and a different description. But yeah, that blade that Melina was using is the Blade of Calling, which is the, I guess it's like the light side version of the Black Blade. It's kind of neat. Forbidden Lands. Now, early day, okay, good. Because there's another Knights Cavalry here. Which I really like the idea of Knights Cavalry, and I really don't like the execution. They're like right here, I believe, right before this jump. But like, they're really cool in theory, but in practice, their horse is like twice the size of your horse. So most of the time when you attack, because your attacks go down, and their horse is way taller than your horse, and therefore they are way higher up than you, what ends up happening is the vast majority of your attacks hit their horse, but not them. And also, they really love running away from you, which means a lot of the fight is just chasing them. Also, Stake America. And this is another place where you can find Millicent. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Although, I don't care for this fight. I think you just get their twin blade, but it's like an ugly twin blade. Like, yeah, I said twin blades are the best weapon class. And I mean, like, objectively speaking, not really, but as someone who only really played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and then now Elden Ring, this is the first game where I experienced twin blades, and they were awesome, and I love them. And this side of grace is going to be important for later. There aren't a lot of sites of grace that are really that important. So, I mean, there's a handful. I could probably pick out like 20. Kind of hard to see, but down there are the like giant icicle things that tell you that it is the consecrated snowfield, which is neat, and also the map. And then here, oh yeah, we didn't do that part of the quest. I forgot about it. That's a weird shadow. But yeah, if you go and do that quest fully and don't forget it like me, then above the Altus Highway Junction, slightly to the left of the path and down a few drops, there's this. And you find this boy again, Yura, and he's dying, and he drops you his weapon, which is a very comically large katana, which is pretty good. But then he shows up here.
Finally, we meet Latani. Oh my, I fear that, well, as for his, I hope you can... The life only so that... What a horrible... You're sent, but how would the...
And he is similar to Hayata way back here, where he's trying to get you to become the Frenzied Lord, And his argument is basically, you need to throw the maiden to the fire to become a lord, and if you do that, people will look down upon you. And you're gonna have to do that regardless of if she wants it or not.
If you and attain, then he.
And so you should be righteous and burn yourself instead.
What's this?
But no.
This is peculiar. Is this how you express contempt?
This is how I express my want
I did not expect.
for your armor
But
set.
if you do not care for
Alert.
lordship, I'm afraid you are.
Bonk. Oh, good dodge, my guy. Good dodge. Yeah, keep throwing your hissy fit. Meanwhile, I have a cannon. Oh wow, that was a good dodge. But I have more cannons where that came from. And charged up, they have a big explosion, so. Or you can just dodge it. No, no, back. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Uh-huh. No. Sorry, but no. And yeah, it's a good looking armor set. And yet, down there, just above the pointy hat, you can see another wandering mausoleum. And that is the most dangerous one. Because it shoots out like a ton of cannons of Haima very quickly. And they all do a lot of damage. But Samurai Storm. It's also protecting the last thing in Loretta's quest. No. Do Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 3. That allows you to buy all the 5s and 6s that you require. Did I really just run past one of those things? Like, did I really just run past them? And have them not attack me? Or even throw an attack out? Also, Warhawk, but just like a normal hawk. But they're still awful. I'm assuming. They're one of the few enemies that I've never fought. Just because I heard the cry. Like, my first time coming through here, I heard the cry, saw the bird and went, nope. Absolutely not. Not doing it. I refuse. No. And I just didn't. Now, these catacombs are important because it is the first location where you can get grave glowworts 7, 8, and 9. Like, how long have we had these, or how long have we had mimicked here at +10? I feel like we've had mimicked here at +10 for a good long while. Speaking of, for challenge runs, I mean, I rank all the ashes, and any ash that I put in S tier Well, two things. One, any ash that I put in S tier, I only allow myself to use one of per run. And I almost always choose Mimic tier because it is the best of the best. Simple as that. But for specifically for challenge runs, I mean, I try to do it for normal runs as well, but specifically for challenge runs, I haven't written this in the rules in the description, but I have it just as like an unwritten rule that I follow is I limit myself to 5 uses per run. And I believe I've used 2. One for the Valiant Gargoyles to get to Deep Root Depths. And I forget where I used Mimic Tear the second time, but I'm pretty sure I remember using them a second time. And also Millicent.
What could you know? Call upon me. I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Halig tree. Indeed, I believe that is where Melania will be found. The Halig tree is...
Yeah, so both Latenna, oh, she's gone. Both Latenna and Millicent want to get to Castle Sol in order to get the other half of the secret medallion in order to go off to the Halig tree. Millicent wants to do it because she's related to Melania in some way, shape, or form, and she wants to figure it out. And Latenna wants to do it because she's an Elven Orc, and people don't like the Elven Orcs, apparently, for some reason. I still don't know what constitutes as an Elven Orc, because, like, Albus, the old shriveled shrew guy, is an Elven Orc, but also the little plump guys, little dumpy head guys, those are also Elven Orcs. But then, like, the people like Latenna, the ones on horseback, or wolfback, with the bows, they're also Elven Orcs. So it's like, I don't know what Elven Orc means. But yeah, a lot of people don't like Elven Orcs, and Latenna wants a safe place for them, and she believes either the Consecrated Snowfield or Mikla's Halig Tree. I believe Mikla's Halig Tree is a safe haven for them. Hi.
There is something my purpose, and now I have set my heart upon the world that I would have,
Okay.
regardless of my mother's designs.
Okay, she doesn't own you.
I won't allow anyone to speak ill of that.
I won't.
Not even you.
I wasn't going to.
Shall I let my share them with me?
Following your own path is totally fine. I don't think my mother wanted me to be a battle mage. Here I am. So, do you want?
Do you hear me? It is I, Lieutenant. We're almost there. Castle Sol lies just off to the north, where the other medallion is housed. It will grant passage to the land of the Halig Tree.
Alright, two things. One, I love these. They serve absolutely no purpose, but I love them. And two, I don't actually know what triggers that voice line to happen. I feel like it was added in an update at some point, Because I've done Latenna's little side quest every single time. And again, this is like my 14th or 15th run. Because I've beaten the game 13 or 14 times. So 14th or 15th run. And I've only gotten that like 7 or 8 times, despite doing her quest to completion every single time. Also, yeah, no idea how I did it, but you can completely get set up on golden seeds before that one. Don't hit me. But yeah, so it's kind of cool to see, because I did one run where I wanted to get as many golden seeds as possible as soon as possible, and had to look up the wiki. Had you scared? Come on, wuss, wuss! You're a coward. Come at me. Look at you. You're a Goliath. You're a giant. I'm like 4'7". I got nothing on you. Come at me. Thank you. Whoa, okay. Jeezums. I have never seen that attack before in my life. But on one hand, I do like that you have to get an enemy to break those for you. On the other hand, I feel like by the end of the game, you should be able to break them yourself. It's just... because, like, you need giants to break them. I feel like if you got a colossal weapon, like a colossal sword or a colossal weapon, and you got the stat requirements, yeah, big old dragon, big old ice dragon, but after a minute, this clears up and you can see again. Okay. But yeah, I feel like if you got a colossal sword or a colossal weapon, and the stat requirements to use them, I feel like you should be able to break those statues with that. Because, I mean, by the end of the game, you shouldn't have to rely on enemies for strength. I feel like by the time you're getting to, like, Melania, who is never known defeat, and it's just like, I finally met my match. And when you beat Horaloo, he's like, thy strength befits a crown. But you still don't have the strength to crack open a statue? It's like, come on. Alright. So you can take this jump pad, and that puts you right next to this, which is Vike, which is an NPC invasion that we skipped this run. Because it was irrelevant to what we're doing. Like, we don't need it. All it does is get you a maiden armor set. And Vike's War Spear. I was trying to remember, and yeah. So the Vike invasion in Liurnia gets you the spear, and then the Everjail there gets you his armor set. Now we could go up there. I was going to go up there, but man, I really don't feel like it. Because, I mean, you have to go all the way up there, get through some enemies and whatnot, and all you really get out of it is a prayer book for incantations, which we're not using, and a shield. Don't get me wrong, cool shield, but battle mages don't use it, so. And if battle mages don't use it, we're not using it. And no real point in getting it. I mean, I do Elden Ring drops, but I have a ton of that shield, and I have never heard of anyone ever ask for it. We're gonna skip the birds. Because, like, I do completionist runs, where I go and get virtually everything. Giant skull. He's got a bird in the left eye, which is kind of funny. Now here, this person is awful. Okina? Yeah. Look at that damage. The amount of damage they do is nuts. And, like, yeah, I'm not wearing a very defensive set. Doesn't matter. They have the same problem that a lot of... There are a crossroad of issues. On one hand, they have the same issues that a lot of NPCs have, which is they have a tendency to just spam input readers, which is god awful. How did they avoid that? How'd they avoid that? I feel like they shouldn't have avoided that. And yeah, they can just input read through everything. And they're awful. Yeah, okay, bud. Yep. And dodge, because they can just dodge everything perfectly, no issue, because they're awful, and they do metric ass loads of damage, and it's ridiculous. And it's awful. It's like, it used to be worse. It's gotten better. Especially Juno Hoslow with the nerf. It's gotten better, but their damage output is insane, which is a problem with Mountaintops of the Giants. And they just spam input readers. And there was one time where I had a ton of fun with that. Because I would swing. Like, let's say that Okina was at, like, that rock. The rock just above the pointy hat. I'd be standing here, he'd be on top of that rock. And I'd just swing, and he'd roll. And I would just keep swinging, and he'd just keep rolling. And it's gotten a little better since then. But it's still kind of atrocious. Not as bad as it used to be, but still very clearly really, really bad. Now, we're gonna do that. And there are a few things here. First, there's Met Gilmere. And second, there's Castle Sol. We're gonna do McGilmere first. Because it's easier. Well, not really that it's easier, but it's meant for a lower level. And so I don't want to get too high of a level. And then come back and just annihilate everything. And I mean, if you can beat Okina, you can beat Met Gilmere. But again, this has all simply been a distraction to hide from the true pain of this universe. That the Battlemage may never know the sweet, loving embrace of the Icon Shield. You will be missed. Especially since after this, I'm not going to be doing... Or I don't think I'm going to be doing an Elden Ring run. I think I'm going to be doing a Dark Souls 3 run. Which doesn't have the Icon Shield. Which is a pain. It aches the heart. I will never be the same, knowing that I had to do a complete Elden Ring run without the Icon Shield. I don't know if I'll ever recover. I'm wounded. I must sit down, knowing that the Icon Shield is not here to heal me. I pray for a swift death, for if I cannot have the Icon Shield, I may have nothing. May the Erd Tree take me, and make me its new blessed dew. But, yeah.